Hi folks, welcome back. I have your latest home prices and insights for the City of Toronto for week ending January 24th. I know we're only a few weeks into the new year, but from an activity point of view, from a realtor's point of view, it feels like we're months into the new year. There's so much going on here. Let's get started. I'm going to focus just for the City of Toronto in this report here. You know what? Before I go any further, I've been told by my marketing department, by my video producer here, I don't tell you enough times to subscribe. So please subscribe below, hit the bell button. If you have any comments, we'd love to hear them. Please below. I've also been told that through some of the comments that when I talk about these numbers that it maybe puts pressure on some people to buy now or sell now. That's not at all what I'm doing. All I'm telling you is what's really going on according to the real numbers as they're reported through the Toronto Real Estate Board. Whether you need to buy or need to sell or choose not to, that's entirely up to you. If you are looking to move or you are looking to sell, hey, you know what? Get a good realtor on your side, but otherwise it's your call. I'm not trying to incite whether you should buy or whether you should sell. That's a personal choice. Okay, so I've got Toronto Detached right behind me here, and if I've got it split down or broken down by weeks, and if we look at the first few weeks of this year, sales week after week are climbing. Last week we had 28 homes in the City of Toronto sell for $2 million or more, and average sold price has jumped up to $1,610,000. If you recall from some of my other videos, the weeks around the new year, the holiday weeks, I've got them recorded, but I don't really take them so seriously around the holiday time. You go way up here and you come way down here. So let's just ignore these two. And if we look at since the end of November, average sold price looks like it's been climbing, and it's been climbing at a steady pace. Compared to last year, now the blue are prices 12 months ago for the same week ending period, and the orange are this year's. So for last year, we're up 8%, the week before we're up 10% and 32%, and we're down 17%, but overall we're way ahead of where we were last year's average sold price. Looking at sales, last week we did exactly the same sales as we did for the same week the previous year at 122, and 63% of those sold at list price or more. So more than half, 63%. So if you're looking to buy, lots of action out there. You're competing in multiple offers, or the home that you want, if you take too long to think about it, and too long could be one day. If you take too long to think about it, it's going to be sold quickly. Listings, we've been, generally speaking, if we look at the first 24 days of the new year, overall, we're probably very, very, very similar to where we were last year. Just last week, we're a little bit higher, but not by much. So listings are pretty close to where they were last year. And looking at months of inventory, we're way down for detached houses. Months of inventory are down to 1.4, which helps explain why prices are going up, and they've been dropping ever since the new year started. Now, months of inventory really helps us to understand the supply and demand. It's the ratio of supply and demand, and we look at how many are we buying versus active listings, how many properties are actually available for sale, and we divide those into each other and we get the months of inventory. We have a shortage out there. If any of you have been trying to buy, when I think of the buyers that I'm working with, there's not a lot of properties. We as realtor, well, at least this is what myself and my team are doing. We're trying to find properties that are not on the market. We're sending out letters. We're trying to find properties that before they come on the market to try to present them to our buyers. Just because if we look at what's available on the MLS in the specific area our buyers are looking for, there's a shortage. We have a shortage in all home types. Let me show you. Here's the months of inventory for semis. We're down to 0.6 months of inventory. And prices have been going up. Months of inventory have been coming down. So the average semi is now close to 1.3 million. So if you're looking to buy a semi, they're hard to find. You just can't find the semi out there. Look at townhouses. Months of inventory is 0.9 months of inventory. Average sold price is going up. The average townhouse now is over 1.1 million. There's a shortage of inventory out there. That's the biggest theme you can walk away with from this report. We're very tight, very shortage on inventory. Our sellers are going to be jumping on and putting their properties on the market. We'll see listings come up, but we're also going to see more buyers jumping into the market as the weather gets better. So we're not sure which way this is going to go, but right now, very tight. We have a shortage of inventory. And it's just, if you just think about it logically, shortage of inventory forces prices up. Okay, so let's look at condos. This is just for the city of Toronto. Look what's been happening to sales. We started the very first week 112, then 173, then 248. Now we're at, for the last week, 295 condos were sold in that week alone, week ending January 24th. And if we look back, I've got about 7 months of weeks broken down here. There's there's only 2 weeks in that period that did more sales, and not by much, 321 and 302. Otherwise, 295 is one of the best weeks we've had in sales, and we're just in the first few weeks of January. Average sold price did come down a little bit, and if we look back and we try to figure out overall what's the trend, average sold price for condos for the city of Toronto have been coming down. Compared to last year, well, for this week we're down about 10%. The week before 7%, 4%, 10%. So generally speaking, we are lower than what we were last year. You know, looking at this, somewhere between 8 and 9% probably, and I'm just kind of focusing on for 2020, the first few weeks of 2021. Last year, we sold 24 condos at $1 million or more during this week. This year, we only sold 7. When we look at sales, we're selling a little bit more this year for the first week, the second weekend a little bit more, third week a little bit more, and this week also, week ending January 24th, we've sold more condos. 295 were sold compared to last year at this time, which was 252. Of those 295, 30% were at list price or more. So a third. So for the favorable condos or the favorable buildings, you're still competing. It's not like there's tons of inventory, and there is lots, and in some situations you can take your time, you could think about, you could negotiate down, but for a third, you got to jump on it quickly or you're going to lose out. When we look at new listings, we are listing much more than what we've listed last year, but it's interesting that listings are actually, so far week after week, have been coming down for 2021. And we look at active listings, they've also been coming down. What does all this mean for months of inventory? Well, just like the other home types, since the beginning of this year, months of inventory has been coming down. And condos are sitting at 1.9 months of inventory. It's a seller's market, and this is kind of taking the overall average for the city of Toronto condos. It's surprising that average sold price has come down to $611,000. It's surprising because months of inventory is coming down, and usually prices should be going up, and they have been for the previous week. It's just this week they've come down. Sometimes we see, you know, a delayed reaction. Now, months of inventory next week, if more listings come up and sales come down, we're going to see months of inventory go up and price come down. If we stay on the same path, we're going to see prices go up for condos. That's, we can call it a prediction, but, this is kind of what the numbers are telling us. So there is a shortage out there. It doesn't matter which home type you're after. With condos, less of a shortage, but especially for detached semis in towns, you're struggling to find. If you're looking to buy, you're struggling to find a property. If you're a seller, you're probably getting multiple offers, or your home is being sold extremely quickly. I keep saying it's so important to have a good realtor on your side, just because if you're selling, you want to maximize the sale naturally. And if you're buying, you don't want to get stuck overpaying or losing out on your dream home. My name is Santo Sessa with Remax Premier. Thanks for watching. That's the City of Toronto report. Please, just a reminder, subscribe below, hit the bell button. You'll be reminded each time these videos come up. Have an awesome day.